Well, hello there everyone, and welcome back to Universal Orlando Resort, where we're gonna do a bit of a special thing today. We're gonna go on in, basically do everything Ghostbusters related, and then tonight, right here in City Walk, go see the new movie Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It comes out tonight, so we're gonna go ahead and see one of the first showings, and it's gonna be a great time. Now, there aren't any Ghostbusters rides anymore in the park. We're gonna talk about basically anything Ghostbusters related, but there won't be any rides. They used to have a ride here, or at least a show for that matter, which no longer exists, of course. But we're gonna go on in and basically talk about anything Ghostbusters related. Basically talk about any fun facts, the future of the Ghostbusters franchise here at Universal Studios. But gonna be a fun day, so strap on your proton packs and get ready for a Ghostbusters spooktacular day here at the lovely Universal Orlando Resort. Let's head on in. Now I can already get a glimpse of some Ghostbusters merchandise out here in City Walk. Let's take a quick look before heading into the park. I do like this shirt a lot. This one goes for only $21.95, which is not bad as far as theme park prices go. And then you've got a hoodie right here. Of course, can't forget about the boxers. Got the mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Men, which are most prominently featured in the newer films. And real quick, over here, they're advertising the great movie Escape, where you could do either an escape room based around Jurassic World or Back to the Future. I have said from the very beginning that it would be cool if they alternated between the different themes in the escape room. How cool would it be if they did a Ghostbusters one? I would like to see that. Ghostbusters fans might recognize this as actually the fire station from the film. Now it basically has a massive hole in it for the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, where the Ghostbusters Spooktacular show used to be. And in between Race Through New York and Ghostbusters, it was actually home to Twister Ride It Out. Taking a closer look to one of the windows though, you can see that it is advertised as a paranormal travel agent. Love that they kept a lot of the old theming from when it was Ghostbusters. Of course, right here, right about there somewhere, there used to be the famous sign hanging over the entranceway for Ghostbusters. So now that we checked out the old Spooktacular show, how could we forget about the New York Public Library? This facade, a lot of people forget, actually used to be a Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice type show. And what I do appreciate is that the park did recently repaint the facade. So even though they don't run a show in front of it anymore, they're still interested in updating it and keeping it looking fresh and new for park goers every day, which I do love to see. And just look at some of that detail. From far away, this looks very much three-dimensional, but up close you could really tell just how flat the sign is, or the backdrop, which definitely sells the idea that this park is kind of designed with the mindset that you were on a movie set. That was the idea that they went with for the park when it opened back in 1990. Definitely cool to see. In the meantime, why don't we go take a ride on Jimmy Fallon?
The Tonight Show. You're here. You made it. This is the place to be. I'm your host, Jimmy Fallon, and this is the Race Through New York. This is very exciting, guys. In a few minutes, we're going to go head-to-head in a high-speed, action-packed race through New York City. You're going to see it all. You're going to see Times Square, the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building. But before we start, I have to tell you about some very important safety precautions.
This jacket hanging up is actually believed to possibly be Bill Paxton's jacket from Twister. No Ghostbusters references, it looks like. But at least there's a reference to another ride that used to reside here. The only scarier thing than some paranormal activity in New York are school groups. Oh crap, I'm wearing a blue shirt. They'll think I'm one of them. And still, my favorite filming spot, Sting Alley, is still closed for refurbishment. Now, it is believed that they are doing some work for the next nighttime show, which will be out on the lagoon here at the park, which, fun fact, is rumored to feature Ghostbusters in the show. Now, it is thought that this new show will feature drones, as well as water effects and possibly pyro. I do think that they are sacrificing pyro in this show for drones. That is what I think. Possibly, maybe, I don't know. There have been some permits for work being done out here on the lagoon. So very exciting for this new show that is scheduled to debut this summer, possibly in time for June, maybe even earlier in May. So they've been doing lots of work, lots of extensive work out here on the lagoon and in the park and around the surrounding area. So exciting stuff to come here to Universal Studios Florida. All right, let's check out some of that Ghostbusters merch at one of my favorite stores in the park, the Film Vault. And right after entering, it looks like they have all the same merch that we saw out in City Walk, plus the addition of this toy car, the famous Ghostbusters car that they use in the film. And then over here, I didn't see these out on City Walk. There's some socks with green slime oozing down them. You got the classic logo on this one. You got a nice Loungefly bag. Got a classic tee right there. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And then some more tumblers. Different than what we saw outside. You got a nice long sleeve shirt right here. How much is this? $30? About what you would expect in a theme park. Right here you got some action figures. You got Gozer, Zedmore, and then Stance. They come with, it looks like a proton pack and some other cool accessories. Let's see, how much are these? $42. I mean, I want to say I'm surprised, but also not, because this is Universal. Right here you got like a Nerf gun? A squirt gun? I don't know, but it looks like you fire the marshmallows right there, which is kind of fun. Well, how do I look? Went on a couple rides before I put on the shirt and now. Still got a few more hours to kill until the movie, which, by the way, I am very excited to see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire tonight out in City Walk. Gonna be a lot of fun. And I mean, hey, the school groups will no longer confuse me as being part of their group, right? They will know that I'm here to see Ghostbusters here at the park and not be here on a school trip. And so in other news, recently in the past week, the speculation maps have actually come out for Halloween Horror Nights. Now, why is this interesting? Well, it's interesting because it is rumored, highly speculated, that a Ghostbusters house will be returning this year to HHN. I did not get to do the Ghostbusters house they had a few years ago. They had one in 2019 for Halloween Horror Nights 29. I did not get to come that year. My first year was in 2021 actually attending the event. So I'm very excited for a potential Ghostbusters house. And Ghostbusters is of course one of my all-time favorite franchises. Definitely looking forward to the return of that house if it does happen. And it is rumored to happen in New York, where basically they did, I think, Stranger Things last year. I think that is the soundstage. A lot of really cool stuff, and Universal definitely seems to be wanting to show some love towards their older franchises as well as their new ones at Halloween Horror Nights and here at the parks. Well, that's going to do it from inside Universal Studios Florida today. A successful day here at the park, but now we're going to head on over to Universal Cinemark out here in City Walk to catch the 6 o'clock showing for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire tonight, and I will definitely let you know what I think of it. Some reviews and critics have been kind of slandering the movie a bit, but of course other critics, no one can ever trust them, right? So we'll have to, you know, develop our own opinion of the movie. Let's head on that way now because it's almost showtime. All right, so let's head right on in. Well, we made it. We got our medium popcorn, our large soda, and we are ready to go on inside and enjoy Ghostbusters. Now, I have to say, I was a little disappointed. I thought there would be some sort of Ghostbusters souvenir popcorn bucket or cup, but there really wasn't. This is Cinemark, and I think AMC has all that. So if we see the movie again, we would definitely have to go to an AMC theater because it seems like people are fighting for their lives, like it's Black Friday for those. But yeah, let's head on in. Obviously not going to film the movie. Going to respect, you know, the laws of, you know, film and media by not recording inside the theater. But let's head on in, and I will let you know what I think of the movie right after. Let's go grab our spot. Well, we came and we saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and you know what? Haters gonna hate. That was actually a pretty darn good movie. At least the third act is when it felt a little like the movie kind of fell apart, in my opinion. But I mean, if you're gonna nitpick it, the third act is not as strong as the beginning and middle, in my opinion. I think the first half, it's just a big here we go again story. They're finally back in New York. They have the fire station from the original film. It's a darn fun movie that you just have to come out and see for yourself. I don't want to give too much away. Tonight is the first night that it is out, so I'm not going to talk too much about the story. Going to have you go out and experience it for yourself. The one takeaway that I can give you though is just go and see it for yourself, guys. I mean, theaters are struggling. It's the first night and there was hardly anybody here. So definitely go out and support your local movie theaters, as well as these big name movies, even the smaller movies. The Oscars just happened. Definitely go and support cinema because now more than ever they need your support. So definitely go out and see these movies on the big screen, the biggest screen possible. See it in IMAX if you have to. Alright guys, it's late, so I'm gonna head on out of here. Until the next episode here, take care. I'll see you in the next one.